Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're going to do a comparison review on both of the Vincent Valentine figures made by PlayArts Kai. So I hope you guys will enjoy the video, and let's get right into it. Stay tuned, guys.
Take it slow.
Okay, so first up, let's take a look at the packaging. So on the front we have a nice photo of the figures themselves, and of course we have the PlayArts Kai and Final Fantasy VII AC and Dirge of Cerberus logos. And here's a look at the sides of the packaging. We have the name of the game and the film once again. And as for the back, we have a couple of screenshots of the figures themselves in various poses. Very nice high quality photos. And here's a look at the inside, just in case you guys want to check it out. So this is the original AC Vincent Valentine. So right over here we have a bit of text. So if you guys want to read this, then by all means, feel free to pause and read. And we have a nice photo, once again, of the figure. And of course we have the figure itself in a nice window display to showcase the figure inside the box with all the accessories. And it's pretty much the exact same for the Dirge of Cerberus. We have this super high quality photo of the figure. Down here we have a bit of text. And of course, the figure. Okay, so this is a look at the accessories that come with the figures. So first up, we have the original AC Vincent Valentine. So this is a pretty old figure, so as you can see, he doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories. All we have is a spare hand, we have the gun, and of course the figure itself. Now as for the Dirge of Cerberus, we do have a lot more. So we have the figure itself, we have the sniper rifle, we have a few pairs of interchangeable hands, and of course the display stands inside the box. So yeah, that's a quick look at the packaging and the accessories. Let's take a closer look at the figures. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at my entire PlayArts Kai, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and AC figures. So right down here we have the Vincent Valentine figures. So this is the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine beside the remake, Barrett, Zack Fair, Rufus, and Cloud Strife. And down here we have the AC version of Vincent with the AC version of Barrett, Sid, Cloud Strife, and Red 13. I do have a review of every single figure here, so if you guys want to check it out, then it will be on the channel. So I hope you guys will enjoy them. So yeah, let's take a closer look at both of the PlayArts Kai Vincent Valentine figures. Okay, so here are both of the figures side by side. So we have the original Vincent Valentine from AC, which came out in 2013. So yeah, this is a super old figure. It's coming up pretty close to 10 years since this figure was released, which is pretty insane. And of course we have the newer Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine, which came out in 2018. So yeah, I would say the Dirge of Cerberus is a much better figure. But yeah, which one do you guys like? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's get a close-up on the head sculpts. And let's begin with the original AC Vincent Valentine. So I would say the head sculpt isn't bad. I mean, for a 10-year-old figure, I would say it holds up pretty well. You can see the eyes painted in there, which are painted reds. You can see the eyelashes painted around there, which are pretty clean. Now I would say the hairpiece isn't that great. It looks super thick. You know, it just doesn't look quite right. Compared to the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine, I just think this head sculpt is much better. It's just got a much cleaner sculpt, cleaner paint job, and I really like the hairpiece. It just looks super majestic, and it's got some nice sculpting in there. And you can see his eyes are painted red. And moving down here to the cloak piece, and as you can see, we have all this nice detailing of all these fabric textures. It's also got a very nice paint job. You know, it's not just completely painted red. We even have like bits of black in here, like dark red, light reds. It's very nicely done. And we have all these belts and buckles sculpted in here. Very nice. And as for the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine, it's pretty nice as well. I would say the sculpting on the Dirge of Cerberus is probably better. Gives a nice sense of movements. It looks very majestic, which I just love about the design of Vincent's. It's probably one of the best designs from Final Fantasy VII. And we have the hand holding Cerberus. At least I think it's Cerberus on the AC version. I'm really not too sure. But right down here we have this real metal chain on the handle piece, which is really nice because PlayArts Kai don't usually do this. And here's a look at the body piece for all these nice bells and buckles sculpted in there. And of course the gold gauntlet piece. Very nicely done. As for the body piece of the Dirge of Cerberus, it's pretty much the exact same, just with updated details. Down here we have the hand holding Cerberus. And of course we have the gauntlet piece, which I think has a better paint job on this Dirge of Cerberus compared to the AC. So you can see the cloak piece for both the figures are super different. So on the cloak for the AC Vincent Valentine, it's very straight. There's not much movement on the cloak. It kind of just hangs at the back. Whereas on the cloak piece for the Dirge of Cerberus, there's a lot of movements. It kind of drapes around the figure. It's very majestic. And here's the side of the figures. So we don't have a great deal of differences. I mean, for the most part, they look pretty similar. You really couldn't tell too much of a difference here. But as you can see, I think the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine is slightly taller compared to the original AC. But anyhow, it's not by much. We have a nice profile of the face on the AC and on the Dirge of Cerberus. And here's a look at the side of the cloak piece. You can see the cloak piece is painted a lot darker on the AC compared to the Dirge of Cerberus. I think this one looks way better. I mean, the paint job just looks so much more vibrant. It's a lot more bright and it just stands out a lot more. Moving down here to the hand holding Cerberus. And here's the other side of the figures. So once again, we can't really tell too much of a difference between the two. Apart from maybe the cape, which I think looks way better on the Dirge of Cerberus. As you can see, we have a lot more sculpting, a lot more paints, and yeah, it just looks much more majestic compared to the AC. I mean, it still looks pretty good here, but it's just very outdated. Okay, so this is the back of the figures, and as you can see, we have a very nice look at the back of the capes. So now I gotta say, I think the cape looks much better from the back on the original AC version of Vincent Valentine. I mean, look at the sculpt in here, look at the paint, it looks very nice. Whereas on the Dirge of Cerberus cape, it just doesn't look that great from the back. I really don't know why, because as I mentioned before, everything about this figure is better in terms of sculpt and paint. So it's kind of strange that the cape doesn't look that great from the back. Now, as for the back of the hairpiece, I would say the hairpiece probably looks better on the Dirge of Cerberus. Once again, it's just got a better sculpting, and it's also like a matte finish. But anyhow, let's take a look at the articulation on the original Vincent Valentine. Okay, so right here at the head sculpt we have, seems to be like a ball joint in there. Because of the cape, it's pretty restrictive of the movements of the head. Also, this here back of the hairpiece is made out of a soft piece of plastic. Here at the elbows we have these ball hinge joints. We also have a ball hinge joint at the wrists. So inside the torso piece we have a ball joint in there. So at the back we have this cape piece, which is made out of a soft piece of plastic, although it's very, you know, it's a very rigid piece of plastic, so it doesn't really move that great. Inside the waist we have, seems to be a ball joint in there. So as for the hips, we have these ball ratchet joints. Seems like Play Arts Kai will never get rid of the ball ratchet joints. We don't have any swivels at the thigh, which is a little bit disappointing. This here holster piece is also made of a super rigid piece of plastic. It's not very soft. And now as for the knee, we have, seems to be a double hinge joint in there. As for the ankle piece, we have a ball hinge joint, and we also have a hinge joint at the toe. So yeah, overall, not the best articulation for the original Vincent Valentine. Let's take a look at the articulation for the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine. So as for the head sculpt, we have a ball joint in there. And the hairpiece is also made out of a soft piece of plastic, although it is a lot more rigid compared to the AC version of Vincent. As for the cape, it's not really made of a soft piece of plastic. It's very tough compared to the original, once again. So at the shoulders, we have these ball hinge joints. Same goes for the elbows and the wrists. Inside the torso piece, we have this ball joint in here. This is quite a nice joint. As for the waist, we also have another ball joint in there. And the hips, we have these ball ratchet joints, as to be expected. And as for the knees, double hinge joints, ball hinge joint at the ankle piece, and a hinge joint at the toe. Now, this cape is pretty cool because it's split into like 3 pieces. So yeah, we have like this ball hinge joint at the cape. So you know, you can really pose it any which way you want. So yeah, I would say the articulation is a lot better on the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine. Okay, so that's about going to wrap up this comparison review on the Final Fantasy VII Vincent Valentine figures made by PlayArt Kai. So yes guys, I would say definitely pick up the Dirge of Cerberus Vincent Valentine. It's just a much better figure in every single aspect. Whereas the original Vincent Valentine, I mean, it's not a bad figure, but it's just super outdated. So yes guys, I hope this review was helpful and I hope you guys enjoyed. As I mentioned before, I will have a review of every single figure here. So if you guys want to check it out, then it will be on the channel. So don't forget to subscribe and be sure to ring that bell notification so you guys don't miss out on all these PlayArt Kai figure reviews. Thank you guys for watching, have a great day, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright, take it easy guys.